And so Peter here, he's reminding us as believers that we're going to face suffering. A lot of Christians just want the joys of Christ, but there's a path of suffering, and we're going to be facing it. And in this suffering, the suffering that we experience, it's not that God is absent. He's just preparing us. He's preparing us for this eternal glory. And so in that moment of that eternal glory, we have life with who he is, but now we're going to suffer. So we do not have this perfect life that we're going to walk just because we say, Jesus, you're Lord of my heart. It's actually going to it tends to get worse in some ways, but it's better because we have that assurance. When you know, right? So to know that I'm going to be with God forever, what a blessing. But to sit there and put this moment in our lives that I think every pain and element and this situation or this relationship is going to get restored or this, and this, it might not happen. And that's what we got to be careful, because sometimes relationships get torn apart because the individuals that you're connected with or tied to are never meant to be in your life anyways. That was a fleshly desire for a fleshly individual that God says, look, no, that person has no part in your life, and I got to prune it. And so when God prunes something, he's cutting off what needs to go to be burned up and burned away. And what does that do? When you prune something, it allows new growth to bear more fruit, right? But it doesn't mean it's not always a negative individual. Sometimes it's your daughter, it's your son, it's your father, your brother, coworker, best friend that Jesus is pruning off of you. And so that's the suffering that we face, because some of these things that get pruned away are things that we want to be there. We don't want it to go. We don't want that to be pruned away, but that's the blessing where we don't know what's best for our lives, but God does. And so will someone read verses 1 through 4 for me? Awesome. Thank you so much. So here is one of the key verses that I took when I developed that Shepherd in the Circle course is there's a chief shepherd. Well, that's where I came up with the concept in my world if there's a chief shepherd, then there's an under shepherd. Okay. So if Jesus Christ himself is the chief shepherd, then guess who we are? Right. We're under shepherd to the chief. We're working below him. And so that's where we got to be careful, because Peter's not speaking from this place of status and esteem. He's actually preaching from a trench.